Well, Mr. Speaker, in a similar vein, in the last 5 years, the American detention center at Guantanamo Bay has lost its legitimacy. Hundreds have been imprisoned. Only a few have ever been charged with a crime. None know when or even if their imprisonment will end. Basic principles of human rights are flagrantly abused in ways that tells others it's acceptable to ignore the rights of their citizens. Why does this government allow its perennial fear of offending the Bush administration to prevent it from doing what the world calls us out for, including former Minister Clark, insisting on the closure of this unacceptable detention centre?
The Honourable Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Mr. Speaker, that this would come from a former Foreign Affairs Minister because, of course, this took place very much on his watch. I don't recall him being on record raising the concerns he's now raising in opposition. However, having said that, Mr. Speaker, we have made these views known. We know that there is intention in the near future to see this facility closed. And, Mr. Speaker, clearly Canada has a grave concern about any human rights violations that take place. We've been given assurances that all proper humanitarian efforts are made to protect the rights of detainees.
The Honourable Member for Toronto Centre.
Mr. Speaker, 5 years is different from the immediacy of what happened some years ago when we were there and we had to deal with it. And this government knows that. Genuine security is based in human rights, Mr. Speaker.
Order. We have to have some order. The member for Toronto Centre couldn't be sitting much closer to the chair, but with all the noise, I'm having real trouble hearing him. I'd ask honourable members to calm down and have their discussions about the questions and answers outside later. It's far more stimulating there than in here. The honourable member for Toronto Centre.
Well, thank you, Mr. Speaker, because I think this is important, that we have to recognize that the respect of human rights is important for our own security and for the future of our countries. And reaction around the world is telling us that actions like Guantanamo Bay are making the United States less secure and less able to fight extremism by promoting human rights. We put it to you, Mr. Speaker and members of the House, that in failing to protest, this government makes Canadians complicit in this behaviour, in the end making Canada less secure. Will the Prime Minister now pick up the challenge and speak for Canadians and tell President Bush that we need to have that
the Minister of Foreign Affairs.
Speaker, Canada, both this government and previous governments have always condemned torture, have always condemned human rights violations. But it's a bit rich now, Mr. Speaker, the feigned indignation coming from the former Foreign Affairs Minister to stand and give us a lecture when we could easily turn the question back to him. This file didn't just start when we took office. This minister has as much to answer for as anyone in posing those questions.